Okay, we are now streaming. Marie, you can, let me once again call the Ambulance Committee of REMSCO, New York City to order. It's Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021. We are operating under the governor's executive allowing all such meetings to be held remotely, provided they are being recorded and being streamed live to the public. As you can see from the upper left-hand corner of your screen, we are currently recording and live streaming. Okay, Marie, please go ahead with a roll call membership.
Okay, this is the Ambulance Committee, New York City REMSCO, March 23rd, 2021. Dove Jacob, Ari Weiss, Grace Cacciola,
Here.
Mitchell Powell,
I'm here.
Daniel Mizels. Okay, Robert Bristol,
Present.
John Johnstone.
Here.
Okay, I'm glad you're able to get on. Jerry Gelbard,
Present.
Travis Kessel,
REMSCO and Ambulance Committee meetings.
Here.
Scott Orlansky.
Here, present.
Thank you. Nancy Benedetto,
Here.
Vincent Barranco,
Present.
Khadija Langsam,
Present.
Martina Barcarella,
Present.
Brian, did you answer?
Present.
Thank you. Okay, we have everyone but one member. Dove Jacob, Ari Weiss. Okay, so they're not here tonight. Okay, we definitely have a quorum.
Thank you very much. First item on the agenda is the approval of the February 23rd, 2021 ambulance minutes. All have been sent out prior to this meeting. Are there any corrections or discussions on those minutes? Hearing no corrections or discussion, is anyone opposed to approving the minutes? Hearing none, is anyone who is abstaining from approving the minutes? Hearing none, we'll move the motion unanimously to approve the February 23rd, 2021 Ambulance Committee meetings by acclamation. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the correspondence report. Give me a moment and I will bring it up for me to read from. Okay. There was no new information regarding membership, no new information from FIDNA EMS. There was a statement received from the New York State Office of the Attorney General, clarification of not-for-profit agency transfer of not-for-profit entity property. I will read that into the minutes. To the extent that the EMS agency intends to dispose of substantially all of its assets, the EMS agency must file a petition with the Attorney General under Section 510 and 511 of the Not-for-Profit Corporation Law. If the EMS agency plans to dissolve or to merge with another entity, the Attorney General should be notified. For further information, please call the Attorney General Charities Bureau at 212-416-8401. This will appear in the minutes. Vital Signs Innovation Award 2019 application is due July 1st directly to New York State DOH. New York State EMS Council Awards for 2021 due May 1st from REMSCO to New York State DOH. So what is our deadline if we have to send it by May 1st, Marie?
We need to have everything in the week before our April meeting so that I can present it. Our April meeting is the 27th of April, so I would need it by the 19th so that we could vote on the awards for that meeting, and then I'll send it up the next day. It'll make it.
Thank you very much. Okay, We've received from the Office of Health Insurance Programs, EMS Agencies Administration of COVID-19 vaccine. I don't know what that means, but I assume we got something from them. There were no enforcements. We received information from Bedford-Stuyvesant VAC progress report for February 2021. We know that citywide mobile response to receiving technical assist to correct deficiencies identified in New York State DOH stipulation, and citywide mobile response is undergoing technical assistance and site review results. We received results about this, Marie?
Yes, we did. And later in the report, we can ask Jerry Gelbart to give us more specific information.
Excellent. Okay, continuing along with the correspondence report, there's no new information from course sponsors. We received and sent out the hearing officer's report for Ridgewood VAC. We received and sent out a hearing officer's report for Forest Hills VAC. We received competency and fitness reviews from New York State DOH for both Ridgewood and Forest Hills VAC, stating that they are fit and competent. We received donated CPAP masks and EpiPens from New York City Emergency Management. We sent out agendas, minutes, and associated attachments for this meeting. We sent out the hearing officer reports, the public hearing videos, and all the other associated information for both the Ridgewood VAC for their public hearing, which occurred on Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021, and for Forest Hills VAC public hearing, which occurred on Thursday, March 4th, 2021. That concludes the correspondence report. Are there any questions? Please mute yourself if you are not talking. Okay, the next thing on the agenda is review of new applications for transfer of operating authority. Are there any?
No, we have not received any.
Okay. Review of new applications for determinations of public need. And the first item is the Ridgewood VAC expansion certificate of need. And we will then proceed to a vote to make a recommendation to the REMSCO meeting that follows. Now, let me make a few comments about this. We have two such expansion before us. They are each independent applications. We must vote on each of them independently. Our job tonight is to decide whether they've met the standard of a certificate of need under 0606. If there are any other motions that come about as we discuss them, we will take the motions and decide on how to proceed at that time. Please remember that no new information is permitted to be reported at this point. If there's a question of clarification, we'll ask the appropriate individual to answer the question. So at this point, the discussion is only people who are members of the ethics committee are going to be recognized. Okay, we're talking now on the Ridgewood VAC. Remember, we received a hearings officer report. We received which recommended that it be granted. We received from the New York State DOH a fit and competency report, which stated that they are fit and competent. Does anyone from the Ethics Committee wish to speak about the Ridgewood VAC expansion? It would be appropriate for someone at this point to make a motion. Motion should be made in the affirmative.
I have the boilerplate if you want me to read that, and then the committee can change whatever it wants.
Excellent. Why don't you? That would be very helpful. In fact,
Okay.
it's helpful if you can post it so people can look at it and see it.
Sure, let me see if I can do this. Hold on. Okay. Okay, just give me a second and which one is that?
Now, while you're bringing this up, the first thing we need to ask, is there anyone in the ambulance committee who needs to recuse themselves because they have a conflict as defined by the state to serve on a ambulance committee CON?
Can you see my screen now?
I can. You also
Okay.
have all the paragraphs marking showing if you want to click it on the top, that little backwards paragraph mark, it'll make it easier to read. Up right there, click that. Good, beautiful. Is there anyone who wishes to excuse themselves from the discussion or the vote? Is there anyone who feels that someone should have excused themselves from a vote? Hearing none, we will take it for granted at this point that there is no one who has a conflict of interest. So it is not appropriate for me to make the motion since I'm the chair. Will someone please read the motion into the record that Marie has displayed?
Sure.
Go ahead, Scott.
The Ambulance Committee, REMSCO, New York City, which has conducted a public hearing and has carefully reviewed the information, materials, and record in this matter, recommends that the hearing officer's report in the matter of the application submitted by Ridgewood VAC to expand its existing territory into Woodhaven, Richmond Hill, and Kew Gardens in Queens County be accepted, and the application be recommended for approval.
Is there a second for this motion?
I'll second it, Mitch Powell.
Thank you. It is seconded. We now open it for discussion.
Vincent Barranco.
Vincent, go ahead. You're recognized.
Yes, so with knowing that we have both of these, and yes, they are individual, would like to change the existing territory locations of this application to be just Woodhaven and Richmond Hill. And disregard.
Vincent, I'm sorry, but I think that motion is out of order. Okay, we received letter from council that appears to say that we are not entitled to modify this at this point. This all should have been done before the public hearing. Since it wasn't, we unfortunately have to vote on it as is. I suspect that, and this is whatever we decide today will be contested on the state level, and the attorneys, with all due respect to the attorneys present, will earn even more money, okay, discussing it at that time. But I don't think it is in order for us to modify this at this time. It's also apparently not in order for us to add any additions or stipulations, since we are only allowed to vote on whether a need has been established. That doesn't stop someone from, after we go through the agenda, from raising a motion that we make a recommendation to the state, which the state can then do what they wish with. But at this point, from my reading of the attorneys that we've consulted, that we have no choice but to deal only with this as is. And so you can talk for it or against it. Is there any further discussion? It would be appropriate for someone to speak for and someone to speak against. Well, if we hear no one, I call again. Is there any discussion on this motion? Okay, Marie, please proceed to a roll call vote. Please remind everyone that it needs an affirmative majority, so an abstention is essentially a no vote.
Okay. Hold on, let me pull up my correct.
I will vote only if there's a tie.
Okay, please vote, and let the record show that Ari Weiss, can you just acknowledge that you're here?
Present.
Thank you. Okay. Get rid of that. Okay, so please vote approve, oppose, or abstain. Ari Weiss,
Approve.
Grace Cacciola,
Approve.
oops. Mitch Powell,
Approve.
Robert Bristol. Robert Bristol,
Sorry, approved, fighting with the mute button.
thank you. John Johnstone,
Approve.
thanks. Jerry Gelbard or David Mikatansky,
Jerry Gelbard, approve.
Travis Kessel or James Downey,
Travis Kessel, approve.
Scott Orlansky,
Approve.
Nancy Benedetto,
Approve.
Vincent Barranco,
Wait, approved. Where am I?
Martina Barcarella,
Approved.
Brian Levinsky.
Approved.
Okay, it's unanimously approved without the vote of the chair.
Thank you very much. Can you please stop sharing?
Okay. There we go.
Okay, one moment, please. We now move to the next item on the agenda, which is the application of Forest Hills VAC expansion CON. Recall that we have received the report of the hearing officer, which has recommended approval. We have received a letter from the state DOH indicating that they are fit and competent. Once again, we will begin by asking if anyone has a conflict of interest as defined by the state DOH. Hearing none, is there anyone who feels that someone should have declared a conflict of interest? Hearing none, I will ask Marie to please display the motion and ask someone to make the motion for the record.
Ooh, could I do it?
You can.
Can you see it?
I can,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay.
The Ambulance Committee, REMSCO, New York City, which has conducted a public hearing and has carefully reviewed the information, material, and record in this matter, recommends that the hearing officer's report in the matter of the application submitted by Forest Hills VAC to expand its existing territory into Woodhaven, Richmond Hill, and Kew Gardens in Queens County be accepted and the application be recommended for approval.
Thank you. Is there a second to this motion?
Ari Weiss seconds it.
Thank you. It is seconded. We now open for discussion. Is there anyone who wishes to discuss the matter? Anyone pro? Anyone against? Okay, hearing none. I'm afraid we'll have to go to a vote. Once again, I will abstain unless there's a tie. Marie, please call a roll call.
Okay. Just give me a second. Should never close anything. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing this screen so I could do this. Okay, as before, it's approve, in favor, oppose, or abstain. Ari Weiss,
Approve.
Grace Cacciola,
In favor.
Mitch Powell,
In favor.
Robert Bristol,
In favor.
John Johnstone,
Approved.
Jerry Gelbard,
Approve, in favor.
Travis Kessel,
Travis Kessel, abstain.
Scott Olansky,
Approve.
Nancy Benedetto,
Approve.
Vincent Baranco,
Approve.
Martina Baccarella,
Approved.
Brian Levinsky.
Approved.
The motion carries with all in favor with one abstention and the chair not voting.
Thank you very much. Is there any motions that anyone would like to make at this point? Hearing none, we will move on to these motions will be brought as seconded motions to REMSCO at 6 o'clock.
Can I just ask a question? I'm sorry, I missed who made the motion and seconded the motion for Ridgewood?
Well, Scott made the motion on both of them, I believe.
Okay,
And I don't know who made the second, but
I made it on the last one we just did, Ari Weiss.
thank you.
that was Forest Hills. Who did it on, who seconded the Ridgewood one?
Mitch Powell.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, ambulance committee tag reports. Do we have any, Marie?
There really hasn't been much action on the tags. They've pretty much finished their jobs. For security stickers, we did send out an email, again, just letting people know that we have security stickers. And that's all. I have nothing else unless
ID cards?
the ID cards, we have not started printing
Okay,
yet.
okay.
Do
Any,
you want to put these technical assistance reports under tag reports?
sure, why don't we go ahead and do it? We have any? Go ahead.
Well, that would be, Jerry's like our lead on this right now.
Excellent. Jerry, please report.
Okay.
Sorry, Jerry.
Good evening, everyone. That's okay. As previously reported, myself as the lead and Sean Graves were tasked with conducting technical assistance and reviews for a citywide mobile response in the Bronx, a commercial operator that received a stipulation and settlement. And we as REMSCO liaisons going up there to facilitate the necessary observations and determinations to satisfy such stipulation. Report was filed with REMSCO subsequent to Sean and I conducting a site visit where we went through all the administrative, operational, and vehicular entities within that operation. We've been able to establish reasonable assurance that all of the items that were deemed as deficient have since been corrected. The agency has since enacted policies, procedures, and technology and such to enhance their operation to prevent any further occurrence. The report and everything was submitted to Marie, and our observation is that the matter be closed on REMSCO's behalf.
Thank you very much, Jerry. We are in debt to you and to Sean for assisting the volunteer agencies. Thank you.
That was actually a commercial.
Yeah, no,
Commercial.
yeah, they are our technical assistance team, well, and Jerry is the lead and doing this is a lot of work, and we really, really appreciate it. It's very detailed and time consuming. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, are there any other questions or issues for tag reports?
No,
Okay, unfinished business? I'm not aware of it. Yes, Marie?
Well, I guess it's not really unfinished. I could wait for new business. It's updating our CON process.
Not go here or to the REMSCO? I know what you're referring to.
Yeah, no, it needs to come here first.
Okay, fine. We'll get there. Any other unfinished business? Okay, we move to new business. Marie, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I have two items. Narcan Distribution. I sent out an email inviting people to request Narcan, and boy, I should have ordered a lot more, because within 5 minutes after I had sent it out, it was gone. And I've just ordered more. I'm going to work on making this more regular and keeping a steady supply of Narcan in our office so that everybody can get as much Narcan as they need. But we already have agencies coming to the office to pick up naloxone. So if you or your agency needs it, let me know now, because I'm going to continue putting in orders to get as much as we can to distribute. The other issue is our COM process. Right now, we ask for $5,000 for an application fee. And it was fine when we were using an attorney that was really basically pro bono, doing it for a very, very small stipend. And I just got the bill for the attorney that handled these past two CONs. And we're not paying for it. The applicants are paying for it. But I mean, REMSCO, until we get the money from the applicants, we have to front this money. And I'd rather avoid that in the future. And I'm asking that this committee approve increasing our $5,000 fee to $10,000.
Can someone,
It sounds crazy, but that's how much it's costing. I had originally thought $7,500 would be enough, but lawyer fees are, I mean, any of you out there who are dealing with lawyers, it can be quite costly. So.
okay, Marie,
Yes.
someone from the committee make a motion to raise the fee to 10,000.
I make a motion.
Jerry's making that motion. Is there a second?
Nancy Benedetto, second.
Mendo second. Is there a discussion on the motion?
Jim Downey, just to let you know, I believe Nassau County, right next door to New York City, their fee for a CON initial, and I think an expansion, is $12,000.
Wow. I don't know. I mean, I'm just working on the bills that I have now, and 10,000 basically covers it. And these were not complicated CONs. If we got something that was more complicated, it would cost more, but we would pass that on to the applicant. But Nancy, you had a question?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, just to give everyone an appraisal of what's going on around the state, you know, there's regional councils as far as the North Rural the rural areas that are charging $97.50 for the same thing, and they have smaller regions and smaller operating budgets. So for $10,000 for our region, it's very, very reasonable. And considering the amount of work that is involved and the professional people we need to bring in to do it as we move forward, I think it's a great idea.
Are there any other discussion on the motion?
10,000 enough?
Well, it's definitely up. If we go beyond the 10,000, our application still requires the applicant to pay for whatever's outstanding.
Right, but you said
but
that
if you
the
want-
10,000 was very simple, straightforward application. I remember in the not so recent past, not that I want to remember the not so recent past, but were I to conjure up the not so recent past, we had some complicated ones that maybe the fee should be higher. I'm just putting that out there.
I have to say that having an attorney that really understands Article 30, it's worth the money, at least to us, because he really knew what he was doing, and I think we avoided a lot of extra problems. And he was around for me to ask questions too also.
Scott, without remembering previous occurrences, the fact that we have a very competent hearing officer this time made this situation much smoother. And if he continues to be available, I would certainly recommend that we use him again. And so I think 10,000 is doubling from 5 to 10 is a nice step. So is there any
So
other?
next month will double from 10 to 20. Just saying, if that's the,
Is there any other discussion on the motion? Marie, please take a roll call vote.
Okay.
If there's a siren in your life, please turn yourself off.
Everybody got their sirens. Okay, sorry, let me just pull it up. Okay. Okay, so once again, approve, oppose, or abstain. Okay. Ari Weiss,
Approve.
Grace Cacciola,
Approve.
Mitch Powell,
Approve.
Robert Bristol,
Approve.
John Johnstone,
Approve.
Jerry Gelbard. Jerry,
Approve.
thank you. Travis Kessel,
Travis Kessel, approve.
Scott Orlansky,
approve.
Nancy Benedetto,
Approve.
Vincent Baranco,
Approve.
Martina Baccarella,
Approved.
Brian Levinsky.
Approved.
Okay.
I'll vote this time.
So yeah, this was unanimously approved.
I will vote for this as well.
Okay.
I
You
vote,
did your Langsam.
I vote yes.
Okay. So now it's unanimous.
Thank you. Is there any other new business?
I just have one question
Mhm.
so that I'm not being unfair. We received an application for expansion from Bay Community. It came in yesterday. It was not complete, and I sent it back. So do they apply under the current, if they resubmit? I'm
My-
just asking.
My opinion is that since it was incomplete and you sent it back, it should go now under the new rules. And it's going to cost that much probably anyway, because that's what we're going to use. So they're going to have to pay for it eventually anyway.
Yeah, I know. It's either upfront or,
Right. So
3 months from now.
send it up front.
Okay, I just wanted to get someone else's opinion besides mine. And I have no other new business.
Anyone else have any new business? In that case, a motion to adjourn is in order. Please remember that you can walk around, turn off your cameras or whatever. We will be back at 6 o'clock promptly to start the REMSCO. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Thank you very much. We are adjourned. See you at 6 for those who want to come. Bye.
Thank you.